Meet Lucy, a lovable but misunderstood dog with a secret. Adopted and returned multiple times, no one could understand why this affectionate dog couldn't find a permanent home. But when a kind-hearted volunteer takes her in, she discovers the truth about her past and sets out to give her the loving forever home she deserves. Lucy was a beautiful golden retriever, and at only 3 years old, she was full of life and energy. The only issue was that she had been adopted 6 times, and every time she found a new home, she was quickly returned to the shelter with little or no explanation. What was wrong with Lucy? Why were so many families rejecting this poor little dog? Well, when one of the staff members took her home for the night, she made a shocking discovery that explained everything. Lucy was a small but happy and friendly dog. She loved people giving her attention and people playing with her, and was undeniably one of the most affectionate dogs ever. That's why people loved to adopt her, but every time a family took her home, they would return her within 3 or 4 weeks. Staff at the shelter were mystified as to what went wrong when the families got Lucy home, and their explanations didn't help clear things up. One family said she just was not a good fit in the home, and another family said they just changed their minds. One family said that she was too energetic for them, while another said that she never wanted to go out for walks or anything. One of the families even said Lucy was not friendly enough, something that staff could barely believe. It just didn't add up. There was no common reason why Lucy kept being returned to the shelter. She seemed like the perfect dog, but there was something about her that families clearly couldn't get on with. So, to get to the bottom of the issue, one young student that was working at the shelter volunteered to take her home and observe what she was like in a setting away from the shelter. Besides, she had always gotten along with Lucy and loved to fuss over her and play with her whenever she was working. She loved her high energy and happy personality and thought she was both funny and cute. It was a smart match. So Emily ushered an overexcited Lucy into a carrier and carried her to her car. All Emily could do was smile at her enthusiasm, but truth be told, she was nervous how this would go. Were all the families right about Lucy? Was there something wrong with her? Was she that different when she was away from the shelter? She hoped this wasn't the case. When Emily arrived at home, she opened the cage and allowed Lucy to wander out of it at her own pace. She didn't want to push her or make her feel uncomfortable, so she left the room and tended to her other pet while Lucy plucked up the courage to explore her new surroundings. After around half an hour, the little dog slowly started to step out of her cage and look around. She might have been an excitable dog that was full of energy, but that didn't stop her from being a little curious when in a new and unfamiliar place. She started sniffing around and eventually made herself at home, running around the room and happily yapping at everything. That was the Lucy that Emily knew. Eventually, Emily returned as she opened her door to the room, though she was followed by her old dog Bella and one of her cats, Whiskers. Immediately Lucy changed. She charged at the 2 new animals, baring her teeth and violently growling. She might only have been a small dog, but she certainly was intimidating. Whiskers the cat simply leapt out of the way, but Bella was unable to do that and quickly retreated behind Emily. Shocked at the sudden chaos that was unfolding before her, Emily quickly ushered her cat and dog out of the room. Then, as if by magic, Lucy suddenly transformed back to the happy, hyperactive dog that she knew from the shelter. It was so strange. This was when things started to click into place in Emily's head. All of Lucy's previous owners had not really given good consistent reasons as to why they had returned her, but perhaps they were covering up her violent behavior. She made a mental note to check out this theory as soon as she arrived at work the next morning. For now though, Emily made Lucy comfortable with food, water, and blankets, and she made sure she triple-checked the door was closed. She didn't want any fights breaking out overnight. The next day, Emily discussed her findings with her colleagues at the shelter, and they all agreed that Lucy's aggressive behavior towards other animals was likely the reason for her multiple returns. They decided to label her as not suitable for homes with other pets and to only offer her to families without any other animals. This way, they could ensure that Lucy would have a safe and happy home. Emily was sad to see Lucy go, but she knew it was for the best. A few weeks later, a family without any other pets came to the shelter looking for a new companion. They fell in love with Lucy at first sight, and after a successful meet and greet, they decided to take her home. This time, things were different. Lucy was in a home where she was the only pet and she thrived. She was happy, playful, and affectionate. She had plenty of attention and her new family loved her. She was finally in a place where she belonged. The staff at the shelter were overjoyed to hear that Lucy had finally found her forever home. They were glad that they were able to identify and address the issue that was causing her multiple returns. It just goes to show that sometimes, it takes a little extra effort to find the perfect match for a shelter pet. But it's all worth it in the end when they finally find their forever home. And that's the story of how Lucy found her forever home. It just goes to show that sometimes, it takes a little extra effort to find the perfect match for a shelter pet. Remember, adopting a pet from a shelter not only saves a life but gives them a second chance at a happy life. If you're thinking about adding a furry friend to your family, consider adopting from a shelter near you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories of rescue pets. Until next time, take care.